what is up everyone, I am DeviantCringe, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, my throat is still a little bit hoarse, which is why my voice sounds still a bit weird, but I decided let's do the video today because it's pretty much time. So before we begin, again, I'd like to say thank you so much for 50,000 subscribers, you know, halfway to 100k, a pretty awesome feeling, you know. Thanks for all the support, and let's hope for an even better 2018. Also, if you still haven't, be sure to subscribe, and of course, if you wish to support me a different way, only $1 a month helps on Patreon, link is in the description, and now let us get on with the question. So, our very first question comes from Victoria Falkowski, who says, congratulations on 50k subs, wish you the best of luck with your channel, and more amazing videos in the future, and to get to 100k till the end of this year. Well, thank you so much for your kind words. For the questions, here are a few things I want to know. Number 1, do you have a favorite DA artist, and if you do, who are they? Honestly, don't, because I really do love a lot of people on DA and I honestly cannot decide. Number 2, if you could make a cartoon show / series of your own, what would it be and on which channel would you like it to air? Oh my god, that is a pretty big question. Honestly, if I ever did a cartoon, it would most likely be in the vein of like a sort of Samurai Jack or Megas XLR type of thing. You know, I'm a pretty huge fan of those, and I really don't know what else to say, but on which channel I would like it to premiere, I honestly don't know. Probably Cartoon Network, but I would actually prefer Cartoon Network back in its heyday, you know, like in the 90s or 2000s, or like early 2000s, that is, not the mid. But even if it's in this day and age, I'd still like to have it on CN, because it is doing pretty badly and it definitely needs something to liven it up, you know. But yeah, that's about it. I would make something in the style of Samurai Jack or Megas XLR and have it premiere on Cartoon Network. 3, is a person who talks a lot about DA fetishes. In your eyes, which is the best, most tolerable fetish, and which is the absolute worst? Honestly, when it comes to like the most tolerable ones, the ones that are the most benign, you know, are usually like ones that deal with like attraction to certain parts of the body, like, you know, tits or ass, or like some other parts. And the absolute worst ones are pretty much, you know, anything that's basically like degenerate, you know, like sexualizing underage characters, diapers, you know, cannibalism, or vor as they like to call it. That's basically it, you know, like as long as nothing is like too out there, you know, it's okay. And 4, last but not least, when do you think the Teen Titans Go Apocalypse on CN would finally end? I would say this year probably. And I do say that because Teen Titans Go has already been going on for years. And what they did recently with the whole, literally, you know, broadcasting it the entirety of Christmas week, with only one tiny little showing of Steven Universe, I really think they just pushed it so hard they can't push it anymore. And I really do think Teen Titans Go will probably most likely go away this year. I would have to say at least until the end of 2018, definitely. The next one is from ToxicWaffle, who says, congrats on 50k, thank you so much. I have 2 questions. Number 1, what do you like the most about Croatia? Honestly, I like multiple things. The things that I really like the most are the history, the culture, and architecture. I think those are pretty cool. And we also have some, you know, pretty good natural sites, you know, like I think we were ranked as like the number 3 clearest waters in all of Europe, which is why we're such a huge tourist destination. And there's also that one little part where there's like a really sandy area, which is basically like our own quote-unquote desert, which we like imported some camels in. And I also really do like the architecture, especially like the old one, because most modern architecture in my eyes looks like total shit, you know. Basically it looks like a drunken hipster all did it. I really do love exploring, you know, all the different sites, you know, like the castles and forts, and pretty much anything that has to do with like complete white stone masonry, you know. By the way, here's a little bit of trivia. That same white stone is the same stone that the White House is made of. And number 2, will you ever do any fan meetups in the future? I would love to do that, but I don't know how I would go about doing it, you know. Like either I would have to rent out a small venue or just set up a meetup at a random place. I really don't know, but yeah, I'm thinking about maybe doing it one day. We'll just have to see. The next question is from Zero Sino, who says, question, a favorite thing about being an artist or YouTuber? Well, honestly, the favorite thing about being a YouTuber is pretty much knowing how many people actually enjoy your content. It really is awesome, and it's both a pretty humbling experience because you know, you're just a random average person, you know, like sitting behind the microphone talking into it, and you find out that so many people enjoy it. You know, it's really awesome. You know, it's really rewarding that you're able to like entertain people. So yeah. Next we have CentricScott, who says, major congrats on 50k, even though you deserve 500k. Well, thank you so much for that. I wish the best for your channel in the future, and I know you will get huge one day. Again, thank you. On to the questions. Number 1, do you drink coffee or tea? If you do drink one of these drinks, what is your favorite type? Honestly, I'm not really that much of a tea guy, but if I do have it, I'm gonna make sure I get some really nice tea instead of just the usual you know, like really cheap, you know, the one that's just chock full of sugar and all that. But I really mostly like to drink coffee, and in terms of like my favorite type, most of the time I just drink a plain black coffee because it's the cheapest. I'm not trying to say that I'm super cheap or whatever, it's just that I'm trying to, you know, save up money, not be one of those YouTubers that just spend all the fucking money as soon as they get it and all that. But whenever I do have some disposable income, I do go to maybe like a nice Lux Cafe every once or twice a month, and treat myself to like either a special type of coffee or like a cocktail or whatever, and that's basically it. Number 2, do you ever think you will make a type of video different from DeviantArt review videos? Well, I do cartoon videos, you know, both scripted and news videos, you know, like small one-offs. So if you want that type of content, you know, there it is. I am thinking of maybe trying out again something different in the future, but we'll get to that. And at number 3, he says, do you have any major hobbies? My hobbies are mostly either gaming, you know, like listening to music, you know, discovering different types of music, that is, and vaping, you know. Some people might not think vaping is much of a hobby when they just first see it, but it's actually pretty interesting when you get into the rebuilding aspect of that. GoTown says, question, do you have any New Year's resolutions? And if you don't like them, can you say a personal opinion on the whole idea? Also, I want to see what is your opinion of this year so far? And it's been pretty much the beginning, with the drama going on, especially the Logan Paul thing. Also, sorry if there's too many questions. Honestly, I really don't have any resolutions. I'm pretty happy where I am right now, and I'm only gonna try to get better from here. The whole idea of New Year's resolutions, in my opinion, is just completely stupid, because they basically just are there to be like arbitrary goals, to put unnecessary stress on you, and to like basically put an imaginary deadline on something like, oh my god, I'm gonna do this better this year, but you end up, you know, like instead of just trying to improve yourself, you end up just focusing on, oh my god, am I gonna reach this? Am I gonna reach this goal by this year? Am I gonna do this? You know, and instead of just focusing on just, you know, improving yourself as you go along, you focus on this arbitrary like deadline that you set for yourself, and you get nowhere. Honestly, the only New Year's resolution that people aren't really gonna have a problem with completing is if they want to stop smoking, of course, because vaping has been around for so many years. They can just go to local B&M and get a star kit and, you know, just get off the Ichi sticks that way. And on the whole Logan Paul drama thing, oh my god, first thing, gotta say my general opinion. Whenever I see people that act like Logan Paul, I honestly get a genuine feeling of disgust, because people like him are like the genuine spitting image of what it means to be someone who's just completely, they have no soul, you know, they're just a shell of a human being, honestly. They're pretty much, yeah, they're only there to be a talking head and just look like a total idiot and make a fool of themselves. My opinion on the whole drama thing, he disrespected a dead body. If you haven't, if anyone hasn't been paying attention, he basically went to the suicide forest, he saw a dead body and he laughed at it and all that. Oh my god, I deal with everything by laughing, and that was basically his poor excuse for it, and now he's getting his asshole ripped out. And in my opinion, he definitely does deserve, you know, all the hate that he gets. You know, he deserves to have his name dragged through the mud and just ridiculed, because he's a complete and total fool, you know. Black Jeans and Ice Cream says, what fandom, if any, have pleasantly surprised you with mostly good fan art? Also, would you one day cover some entries from your fans? I really don't know what you meant by that second one. Not to mention, a great job. I feel bad since I knew about you a long time ago, but you never subscribed. We're also half for here. Good luck with 100k. Thank you so much. On your first question, the fandom that really surprised me with pleasantly good fan art is definitely the Brony fandom. When you Google like MLP fan art, you can really get some nice results, honestly. People have put a lot of time and effort into making stuff, and it really just goes to show you, just because there are some cringy people in the Brony fandom, you know, there are definitely some talented people in there. That's the fandom that really surprised me with mostly good fan art. Margaret Plays Games says, I have a question. How did you come up with the idea of starting a channel in the first place? By the way, I want to say congratulations and a big thank you. I don't know if you remember, but you showed my OC Salia in your Thank the Watchers number 4 in April. That video made me start drawing again since I kind of abandoned it. Basically, you helped me improve it and find my own style. Thank you again. Well, thank you so much for your kind words. You know, I really am glad that I'm able to like actually help people out, you know, and get them back into doing stuff. So that's pretty cool. And the question is, how did you come up with the channel? I came up with the channel because, like I said previously, I basically grew up with these insult comedians. You know, I grew up on their material, like George Carlin, Andrew Dice Clay, Eddie Murphy, and all that stuff. I really like that style of humor because it really does separate people who know how to take a joke and thin-skinned little bitches, you know. And those thin-skinned little bitches, those are the people you want to laugh at, you know. But first, you gotta pick them out from all the normal ones because they can camouflage themselves very well. It's just super funny. I like every type of offensive humor, like you know, either if it's gender, racial, or just plain old insult stuff. I just love it, you know. So when I got all my equipment set up, you know, I basically decided, hey, let's make a ranting channel because I can be a big mouth if we want to, and I can act pretty loudly. So yeah, it all steamrolled from there. Kittywitty says, what's your favorite thing to do in your spare time? I enjoy drawing from a DeviantArt account. I'm pretty sure you know it. Kitty Meow Meow 44. Yes, I do know it. Thank you so much for asking something, you know. And my favorite things to do in my spare time are pretty much just game or listen to music or go out, you know. Like I said, whenever I have some spare change, you know, I go to a nice cafe and treat myself to a coffee or cocktail. But most of the time, it's either just, you know, gaming or taking a walk outside. Perle Rani, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that name, I can't say it right now, especially since the voice is still wrecked. Congrats on 50k, thank you so much. I know this is probably going to be asked a ton of times, but what are your favorite shows on TV? Right now, I like watching The Walking Dead, Vikings, Narcos, BoJack Horseman. Oh, by the way, I also love the Peaky Blinders. That's actually a pretty good one in my opinion. And yeah, those are pretty much my favorites that I watch right now. I also really like Game of Thrones, but I'm just so disappointed in what the 7th season has become. Like, those two fucking idiots, fucking Dumb and Dumber, you know, those bastards should never work in like show making again. Honestly, those are some of the worst writers I've ever seen in my life. And the same goes doubly so for Scott fucking Gimple, because what he did with the last season of The Walking Dead, oh my god. This guy is a moron. The next question is from Mario and Sonic Plushies, who says, which cartoon for CN do you think is going to be better, DC Superhero Girls or Total Drama Daycare? I would want to say DC Superhero Girls because it's a more quality cartoon, because Total Drama Daycare is basically just another continuation of the whole horrible like kids trend, you know, like basically aging all the characters down. It's pretty stupid as fuck. But honestly, my friend, anyone who knows modern Cartoon Network, they're definitely gonna push Total Drama more, so it's gonna be more successful. I really do think DC Superhero Girls is unfortunately gonna be pushed more to the sidelines because yeah, Total Drama is one of their biggest cash cows. You know, it's one of the most ugliest, most poorly animated shows of all time, but it makes them money, so obviously they're gonna push it more and it's gonna be more successful. Mr. Morta says, do you ever plan to look at other mediums, aka sculptures, when it comes to your Thank the Watchers? Honestly, I really should do another Thank the Watchers. It has been a pretty long while since I've done one. I think the reason why that is because I've been juggling, you know, new ideas, so been getting a little bit harder to do older stuff, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna do another Thank the Watchers someday soon. And when it comes to like other mediums like sculptures, you know, or arts and crafts, I definitely would, you know, feature people like that. It's just that I haven't been able to find anyone who does that. But if I did find a watcher that does stuff like that, I would definitely feature them, because I really do like featuring different styles. Mokaban says, question, pineapple on pizza, yes or no? No, because I'm not an uncultivated dirty savage. And did you also know that the majority of the Hawaiian population hates Hawaiian pizza because it's so fucking disgusting? Laszlo Zerka says, if only your first channel wasn't hacked, you would be at 100k already. Oh man, if only, if only. Anyway, questions. Number 1, how old are you? I'm 23. Number 2, what got you into the business? Well, my friend, like I said multiple times, I always wanted to be an entertainer ever since I was a kid, and that's pretty much what happened. Number 3, was there anything else in your head you had to do before you started your first channel? Honestly, I don't know what that means, my friend. I kinda... yeah. And number 4, favorite type of music. Honestly, right now, what I mostly listen to are vaporwave and lo-fi hip-hop and future funk. ABL is, sorry for mispronouncing that, says, alright, here's a few. Number 1, how did you get involved in DeviantArt? I really do like art, and I want to talk about it. Number 2, what inspired you to make your channel? Well, I was watching, you know, other ranting channels before I made mine, you know, like The Phantom Menace and Jackoon, and of course, Blackbuster Critic. And number 3, was your persona inspired by anything? Honestly, really, no. I actually... a fan of mine called Zuzi Draws Stuff way back when I first started my channel came to me and says, I want to draw a piece of fan art for you, and she basically said, what do you want to do, you know, like what features do you want and all that, and I basically said, I just want a regular guy in like a jailhouse rocker, you know, like a jailhouse rocker type of Elvis Presley getup and all that. And yeah, she drew me like that with a blindfold, and that's basically where it all started. Moist Smoochum says, do you have any pets, and if so, what kind? If you don't, do you have any plans to get one? I really do want to have a British short-hair cat because they basically look like giant living teddy bears. And right now I don't have any. The Nebula Trilogy says, first off, congratulations mate, I'm proud of you for reaching this milestone. Hopefully we'll get some good out of this year. Question, have you ever heard of Hyperdimension Neptunia, and if so, Have you played the games or watched the anime? I would love a DeviantCringe edition of it. Peace out, mate. Not really. Honestly, I have heard the name, Hyperdimension Neptunia, but I've never watched the anime of it. I did hear it was an anime, but I didn't know about the game. And yeah, you know, I'll give it a watch, and I may do a DeviantCringe video of it. It would be pretty funny, I gotta say. Dessert that says, how old are you? I'm 23, and yes, everyone, I know that I already answered this, but you know, the previous one that I've answered also had some other questions with it, so yeah, that's why I'm answering it again. And the last YouTube question comes from Nebulous, who says, thoughts on Unikitty? It has a few problems, but I actually think it's not as bad as it's gonna be. Well, honestly, it really isn't as bad as Teen Titans Go, so yeah, it gets a plus on there, but you know, I've watched the sneak peek episodes they made, and I really don't like it. It's probably not going to be as bad as some people think it is. It's definitely not going to be worse than Teen Titans Go, that's for sure. So, yeah, I think we're going to have to kind of compromise. But if Unikitty is going to be the worst show of 2018, that definitely means that things are looking up in terms of show quality, you know. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is about it. That about wraps it up for all the questions. Unfortunately, this time around, we don't have any DA questions, just some congrats messages, of which I'm very thankful. Thank you all so much for you know, your support and all that. I'm really grateful. So let us hope for an even better and less apocalypse bullshitty 2018. Anyway, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, press the bell icon, and if you wish to support me a different way, my Patreon link is in the description below. And as always, I'm DeviantCringe. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.